Welcome back to Tailgate Sports Media. I'm Devin. This is my good friend Ray, the
Dude.
premier podcast for sports, mostly football, and everything about the tailgate, the most important part of sports. Episode 27, we are back. We got caught up on a lot of stuff that we missed during our break last episode. So here we are. Well, first of all, Raymond, what did we do today?
Uh, we took yet another step into UNC status.
Unk
We
status. Yep.
we started picking up the game of golf.
Picking up the game of golf. I think my best shot um, off of the putting green was about 67 yards. Um,
I don't remember that one.
yeah, I had one that had a little bit of distance,
Oh, you mean
and
the
it got
one that
about
went?
6 inches.
You mean the one that went over the putting green and hit the light?
That one, no. I
Okay,
had one that I had one that went straight about 50 yards. We'll call it 50. Well,
okay. But
just to be safe. It didn't get more than 6 inches off the ground, but it went 50
oh yeah,
yards.
no, I was hitting line drives all afternoon.
Yeah. You had a few that were good. You
There
got
were one,
potential.
there were one or two. I think what I'm going to struggle with is after a good shot, I don't retain any of the data from it. So I'll have a good shot here and there. Like I told you on the course, it's gonna be wee bowling the majority of the time. I'm just gonna be hitting line drives all the way down the fairway, and then we'll set it up from there. Because short game is pretty solid.
Short game solid. Getting to the green, different story.
Yeah.
All right. Real sports talk now. The UFL kicked off this last weekend. Um, I got some notes here. Overall, we'll talk about the overall in a little bit. First game Friday night, Birmingham versus the new Louisville Kings. Birmingham takes the dub on the road, the only team to win on the road this week. 15-13. A lot of back and forth. A lot of the product was better, I think, than it has been because they had like an extra week to practice than they normally did. Uh, Turned out better than I thought it was going to be, considering all the drama in the off season
Yeah, I
with
agree.
new rosters, new coaches, getting supplies and uniforms and stadiums all lined up and shit. But I think it turned out pretty well. Um, in regards to the game, uh, Birmingham does get the win, but they do have a kicking problem. Um, Kicker missed both extra points that he tried to kick. And correction from last week, I thought it was a 50-yard extra point. It is a 40-yard extra point. They're kicking it from the 23.
No,
So it's a 40-yarder. He lined up on the right hash twice and missed it wide left. Made a field goal at some point. I forget exactly how far out it was. It wasn't too crazy. But Birmingham might have a kicking problem that they got to get addressed.
I saw a couple
Um,
teams with kicking problems.
Yeah, it was kind of a couple teams are like, oh, they're gonna need some help on the kick, and I think there was more teams that are like, okay, they got solid kickers because there were some good kicks.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
Um,
odd. It's odd from a league that is producing kickers for NFL.
exactly, yeah. Um, Birmingham versus Kings, 15-13 to Birmingham. Anything to add on that one?
No, not on that one.
All right. Moving on to our big game of the week, Dallas versus Houston. Raymond has decided he will cheer for Houston. I'm going to probably cheer for the Renegades.
Yeah.
Renegades, Slobberknocker beat the hell out of them. Final score 36-17. Uh, wasn't really close.
Was not.
Uh, Dallas
Hey,
was up 30-3 after the first play of the second half.
let me say, Houston fandom is shaky at the moment. I didn't expect to be shaky after game one. Houston fandom is shaky. I saw the second half. I saw a lot more what I liked, but
In garbage time, yeah, you always like garbage time when you're
no,
the
there
team that
was a
stands.
Houston had a 93-yard return.
A return, that doesn't even count.
What do you mean doesn't count?
Look, man, if I'm losing 31-10 with 10 seconds left and then I return a kick, Ends up being 31-17. Did I play good? No, I had one good play.
Look, you know, it's vibes over here. I,
Uh,
we can work on things like sound offense and defense later. Right now, I need
all
vibes.
vibes.
Right now, I need vibes. I need you to make me excited to be a Houston Renegades fan, Houston Gamblers fan.
But
Pardon me.
I won't say any teams are bad yet because it's only the first week.
Yeah, and that's the other half of it.
Houston, yeah, Dallas might just be the best team in the world right now, and then fall apart midway through the season. Speaking of best in the world right now, Austin Reed. Um, so most quarterbacks averaged an interception, averaged one touchdown, and averaged somewhere between 225 yards. Austin Reed is the only one with some quarterbacks didn't throw interceptions, obviously, but he's the only one who didn't throw an interception, threw more than one touchdown, and threw for over 250 yards. I can be real strict and I say the only one that threw over 230 yards, but we'll be kind.
I mean
And he beat those metrics.
that sounds kind of like an ESPN stat because we're not counting the fumbles.
That's true.
I do believe I think he had one or two fumbles.
Well, now you're going to make me look it up. And of course, it's the UFL, so the stats are never that good. I'll put it in my notes. I will confirm it for next week if he fumbled. However, I would say his offensive performance outshined, even if he did fumble twice. I say would outshine it by a lot because I said the metrics 230 yards, one touchdown, zero interceptions. So zero
I've
interceptions,
I've got one fumble.
one fumble. We'll take one fumble
All right.
because nobody threw for more than one touchdown. He threw three. No one threw for more than 230 yards. He threw for 370 ish. He threw a little bit over 370. Can't remember if it was 72 or 76. He
76.
376 yards. He was clearly the best quarterback this week. The fact that the UFL gave Offensive Player of the Week to the Brahmas, the Battlehawks offensive line is
I
shameful,
mean,
honestly.
I mean, they kind of earned it.
I don't think they earned it over 376 passing yards.
I mean, they took on the league champs and won.
I don't know. You know what? Here's my point on it.
All right.
And as much as I pick guys, I love the offensive line. Those are my boys, right? That's the key of any good offense is an offensive line. Doesn't matter how much talent you have all around. If you don't have an offensive line, you ain't doing shit. You can be mediocre, but you're not doing anything important. When it comes time to highlight my explosive fun league and everyone wants to come watch football, why not highlight the guy that almost threw for 400 yards?
You don't want to highlight the big man over to
The
draw
Knights,
attention to your big.
as they're called, the Knights of Colombo. Their offensive line coach is Mark Colombo. The Knights of Colombo over your 400-yard, three touchdown quarterback. I don't know, maybe some marketing opportunities missed there.
I have to
Um,
concede to that point.
I appreciate it. Dallas beats Houston 36-17. Crowd was a little disappointing, less than 9,000 people. People were saying there was some
Yep.
weather like rain and it was kind of chilly.
Yep.
But hoping you're hoping for this season that everyone averages they're averaging over 10,000 people in a crowd. Not a hot start on the crowd front. Next game, probably the most competitive game of the week. Uh, at least I felt like it to me. St. Louis versus DC.
I would agree.
DC hits the first 4-point field goal, 60 yards exactly.
Yep.
So first one in UFL history, only one that got hit this week. Uh, the St. Louis defensive line and offensive line are great. They have the core mechanics for any great football team, which is front line, whether it be either side of the ball. Their defensive line was fantastic. More than just the defensive line, because it was a lot of they were generating a lot of pressure and a lot of sacks, but they were sending pressure. But they looked great on the pass rush. Offensive line, they UFL's chosen players of the week. They looked really good as well. St. Louis wins that one 16-10. They end up coming back uh, after after a sluggish first quarter. Speaking of sluggish, let's go back a game, two games actually. Memphis versus Louisville. Louisville left a lot of points on the board. They had a run down to the 1 yard line. Um, got down to the 1 yard line, first and goal as time is about to run out in the half. They're down 10-6. And they got stuffed twice. And then on third and goal, the guy runs into the end zone and the ball doesn't make it with him. And time ends up running out on the quarter. And they go into the half down 10-6. They end up losing by 2 points. So
Kind of wish you
whatever you
had
want to
that
make of
one
that.
back.
Yeah. Um, so Louisville might looks like a team that they just need to clean some things up and they might be pretty good.
Or
Um,
Louisville might be going into next week minus one player.
Speaking of minus one player, we'll
Oh,
come back to it. Let's get our last game in real quick. Obviously, St. Louis beats DC 16-10. Next game, Columbus versus Orlando. Um, the only game this week between two new teams, or two new franchises, I would guess. I don't know how to put it. They're all owned by the
yep,
UFL. These teams didn't play here last year. A lot of the players aren't new to the UFL, but new teams, right?
yep,
Um, close kind of early on, and then Orlando pulls away.
yep,
Columbus fights back pretty hard there towards the end, have the ball, and they are driving towards the end of the game before a turnover ends it. They lose 23-16, so Orlando with the dub. Um,
yep. Orlando, another team with a good looking defensive line, too.
yes, yes, that is a great point. I do like that. Yeah, they generated a lot of pressure. Love a good defensive line. If I have a defensive line that generates pressure and I don't have to send anybody to blitz,
Mhm.
I can make something work with
Oh,
that.
speaking of blitzing, that game had probably the funniest feature of UFL games. They had Columbus's defensive coordinator on camera, live reacting to the play as it's developing. I don't
And
know if they,
every time, it felt like every time they went and talked to him, they gave up a touchdown.
yeah, I don't know
And
if I don't know if that's a good idea, but as a viewer, I could watch that. I could watch that every drive.
so that was going to be one of my points. It was going to be one of my overall points. Um, the interviews, I don't dislike the interviews. Don't do it. Don't interview a guy while he's in the middle of like he's trying to coach, right? Um, or he's trying to watch his shit, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna do this and this is," and he's like, because both times they're in the middle of the interview, and he gets like halfway through answering the question, and then the play happens, and he just walks off. He's like, "I'm done. I gotta go. I gotta go be a coach." I don't dislike the sideline interviews. I'm okay with it, but make it so that you're interviewing like in between plays, in between quarters or whatever. You don't just
And
have to interview the coach like before the game and at halftime. You can interview all sorts of people in between takes during commercial timeout. There's plenty of time to be doing interviews.
yeah, and I think they should be more discerning about who they pick for the interview because there were a couple times where like we're going to interview this wide receiver, and he's just like, "So yeah, I'm watching the play. Oh, it looks like a run play. All right, thanks for your help. And we're gonna go back to the go back to the booth."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't dislike the interviews, but just you gotta be more careful when you're doing the when you're timing them.
Yep.
Another thing that I did want to bring up, the UFL, whoever your highlights guy is, the game did not start broadcasting normally until
Oh, I
later.
did see this.
And when the UFL put out the highlights, they did not include the footage from before it actually went on air because the hockey championship ran over. The college hockey championship ran over time. So they didn't start broadcasting where they were supposed to until later. Well, Orlando scored a touchdown in that time. So when most people came and tuned in, it was 6-0. And that's where the highlights start. Even in the highlights, they don't have the touchdown play.
Mhm.
like the video exists because you could look it up and still see the video if they have highlights of it. Include that in your highlights. The fact that you're only pulling this from the broadcast is a little disappointing. You should all scoring plays should be in the highlights video.
Yeah, that might be a learning lesson for whoever that is, though.
Well, they're making too much damn money. I want to, maybe they're not making money. They're
Yeah,
trying to put something out there that's going to make money. That's
yeah.
something you got to be on top of quick.
Well, you know what? You're slacking, Devin, because hey, UFL, if you need someone to get together and map out and cut together your highlights, look no further. We're over here talking about
Raymond,
it. We might as well be you doing the cuts.
I put Raymond on YouTube, and he's trying to go and job hop already right in front of me.
I mean, no, not job.
Devastating.
Yeah, not job hopping. You're supposed to be coming with me. Put
Didn't
this
sound like
on.
that. You put your hands up like this. I sound like you're trying to abandon me.
Yeah, I was putting my hand under you too.
Okay, all right. I feel better. I feel better.
Pull
I'm gonna
us,
still side
pull
eye you.
pull us to the bottom right, and just play the highlights over the top. We can make this whole thing the UFL, and we could just talk about the highlights.
Look at the UFL guys. Yeah, for a small fee.
Yeah, we just be over here like, okay, in this one, looks like a throw over the middle.
I can do. You can do play by play, and I'll do color commentary.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, yeah. That is UFL. That's our comments. Let's work on the editing. Let's work on our TV interviews. Oh, sound audio on Fox was
Oh,
terrible. People
was
were saying that the Louisville game that the crowd was pretty loud. It was a decent crowd. It looked like a good crowd too, but it seemed very quiet. That's a Fox thing. They got to fix that because
I
even
think
ESPN they were good.
I think in the Dallas game they had the quarterback hot mic the entire game.
That's
Somebody
hilarious.
somebody was in there. Somebody on the field had their mic on the entire game because I remember watching a touchdown and hearing somebody cheering, and it wasn't the guy scoring the touchdown.
Oh yeah, there was one where they had a long one and the guy's going like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah."
yeah,
That could have just been a fan in a good spot. That really could have just been a fan in a good spot.
maybe, but we need some directional mics on that field.
Yeah. I don't, man. I mean, there is growing pains, but this it's just like little things. Like we want a
Yeah.
smaller venue so the crowds look good. Speaking of, the Dallas crowd wasn't great to begin with, but considering that the broadcast camera, there's there was over 8,000 people there, but the side of the field that the broadcast camera was showing was all covered seats, so no one was sitting on that side.
Hmm.
So the ends had people, and I'm assuming the side that they were shooting from did. The other side did not,
Yeah,
which
it's so odd from a league that's been like pushing presentation. They're shutting down cities because they don't look, they don't present what they want them to see, and then you put that out there.
yeah,
It's like we
yeah.
need to condense
It
everything so it looks better on TV, and then you put an entire side of a field with covered seats.
Yeah, I'm sure it's more complicated than we're making it sound.
Probably.
But it's gotta do something about that 'cause that's a little like, hey, we want this to look good on TV, and then that's literally the exact opposite that you want right there.
Mhm.
Um, that's UFL week one. Exciting that football's back. Wish I had more time to watch it this weekend, but I worked like a dog, so didn't get to watch much. I honestly watched more because I was busy all day Saturday. I was working Sunday during the game. I watched more of the Friday night game while I was at work because it's Lent and slow at a restaurant than I did any of the other games. Um, anything to add before we move on?
No, gamblers saw a lot I liked in the second half. Let's bring a lot of that into week two.
Week two. All right. All right. You said it. I'm gonna write this Renegades top seed thing. Mark Stoops plays there, but not Mark Stoops. Wow, Drake Stoops, son of Bob Stoops.
Yep,
He's playing over there, so
saw
that's
that.
just more. I gotta go get that jersey now. Um,
I mean,
moving on.
let's wait and see what his stats come out to be before you're picking up a Stoops jersey.
I saw him. I'm still getting the Stoops jersey. I'm a Stoops guy, ride or die.
All right, fair enough.
If you were direct lineage of Bob Stoops, that's my guy. Raymond, moving on to our next sport. We don't talk a lot of sports, but we
Yeah.
will this week. How did your Vibes Final Four come out?
Uh, Not great. From my cursory glance, I believe. Well, I mean, it was almost guaranteed to be busted. Let's look at let's see here. So, okay, UConn made it.
UConn made
Uh,
it.
I believe I went. Actually, I should have it here somewhere. There it is. Okay, so we had UConn over Duke. We made it there. Texas did not make it. That's busted there. Um, Arizona did make it though. We have, let's see, I also need to read this. I believe I had Illinois over Iowa. Yep, I did. So I got there. Uh, Iowa State, you had Iowa State lost. I'm out there. Oh, hold on. I got to get a bracket going because this is getting out. This is getting
Here's
unreadable.
what I can tell you. We don't have to go super into it. I
Yeah.
know you picked Nebraska over Iowa,
Yes, yes, I did.
and you picked Texas over Purdue. They were playing while we filmed, and by the time we ended filming, they had both lost, and that was
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. Well,
That's the
what,
funniest thing that's
what are you
happened to
gonna
me
do?
all. Besides, besides, ah, I was going to
Besides,
do you real dirty, but I'm not going to do it.
oh,
Not something I'm going to put on YouTube. I'm not trying to
oh,
edit it this
oh,
hard.
come on, man, come on.
I'm not going to do it to you. That's all right.
All right.
Um,
You got to do it. You got to do it. But yeah, but if you're gonna do it,
no,
we're gonna do it.
I know we don't. We're not going to do it. It's fine.
We're
Everyone knows the.
this is it's we have Cold War. This is Cold War here.
It's a Cold War. Yeah. Just know I got something if you ever come at me.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Um,
Yeah. So to answer your question, not great.
Not great. Yep. Michigan, Arizona live up to the hype. I think they looked great. They're going to be playing each other this week.
Hmm.
Would have been a great championship game, but it's going to be a semifinal, Final Four. Um,
I mean, we're also gonna get.
UConn's
Yeah, you're about to say what?
UConn's 3-pointer, and then the overall comeback versus Duke is insane. I stopped watching that one at halftime when Duke was up by 17.
Hmm.
Felt like it took them 5 minutes to play out that final 42 seconds or whatever, but that was an insane comeback to come back to. Just to log in just in time to see that it's a close game and then see that 3-pointer. That was incredible. That's March Madness.
Yeah, and that's what makes basketball fans.
Yeah, no shit. That was at least college basketball because that shit is exciting. So UConn gets in uh over Duke. Duke 2 years in a row with a last minute losing on a last minute 3-pointer. Uh, and then Illinois making it to the Final Four is pretty impressive. They're a 3 seed, so not crazy, but I know a couple of Illinois fans and they are hype. So UConn versus Illinois. Um, let's go ahead and just reset the bracket, right? You got your Final Four right now.
Oh,
Where do we go
you
from
give me
here?
another vibe shot.
Yep, you only have to make 3 picks. Who's making it to the final dance and who's winning it?
I think I'm going UConn. Oh, but did they did they peak too early against Duke? Because it's not about it's all about when you peak. They could peak against Duke and then they just don't have it for Illinois. I think I'm gonna say UConn goes all the way. You no, not Yukon and Arizona are where I'm
Pick
landing.
UConn and Arizona.
I think I'm going Yukon, Arizona, and yeah, I think Yukon takes it.
Ooh, had a lot about doubt about UConn there for you to end up with them.
I
I'm
did,
gonna take
I did.
I'm gonna take UConn as well. Michigan was my pick from the very beginning before any games got played, so I'm gonna stick with Michigan to win it all. Michigan versus UConn. Michigan takes it all.
Hmm.
All right, we've recorded it a second time.
Yep. I mean, you have a good shot considering I blew my bracket twice. So Michigan has a strong chance to beat Arizona.
That's true. That's true. All right. Well, that's basketball. I was gonna say let's talk golf, but we kind of already did it.
Yeah.
We're getting old.
Yeah.
We're we're picking up golf.
I mean, scramble's coming soon, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, get out, start practicing. I'm gonna figure out what it costs to get a crash course in lessons.
Yeah.
Hit that driving range, so I feel like I at least get the ball up at least 100 yards.
Yep. I'm gonna figure
No
out what
line
it takes.
drives.
I'm gonna figure out what it
Yep.
costs to get a driver replaced. You can pull my clubs out of the shed for the first time in probably 10 years, and the driver shatters on like the fourth swing.
Oh my God, that was great. I wish I had already been recording at that point. I got a couple of videos out of it. Nothing crazy.
I
Just, hey guys, guess what we're doing? But God, I wish I would have got that.
It would be so much easier for me to accept if I was like leaning on it in any kind of way and it just cracked. But like I literally bent down to put a ball on the tee and I took my weight off of it and I came back and it was cracked.
It's like the guy that's like holding up the weight of the world, and he's just like he's staying strong, and the second like, okay, we got you, you got this, and he just immediately dies.
Yeah. Like, but you didn't even give him the weight yet.
Oh my God. Yeah. We'll see if we can make some videos out of golf. I know there was one thing we were talking about that I don't want to like talk about, but maybe just some regular old golf shit. And we can
Yeah.
be old, start transitioning to our old age. Um, Tailgating, the most
Yes.
important part of the sports experience, the tailgate.
Mhm.
What do you, so you're at the tailgate, right?
Yep.
Any tailgate, Raymond? Name three sides. What three sides are you going to bring to the tailgate? And Raymond, I'm gonna be honest, as much as I just surprised you with it, you're in luck. I didn't think of anything either. So we're just both on this journey
Okay.
together right now.
All right. That makes it more digestible. Um, you know what? Let's make this a bit more challenging. Let's just leave chips out of it.
You know what? I appreciate that. Let's just leave chips out of
Because I think chips is just needs to be there,
it.
but nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, I need my sides for my tailgate. I'm gonna bring chips.
Hmm.
I think you need, I mean, assuming chips are there, I think you need a good dip.
Okay.
So I'm not even for me personally, it's gonna be a brisket dip, but you put whatever meat you want to in your dip. Um, a popper,
Hmm. Great. Love it.
and then I think you can get a little. I think you can get a little like you can get a little extra with your third. So, like, that's where you can dip into your mac and cheese. You can dip into your, oh, I mean, we're already in dips. Honestly, I don't even think you need a third after your popper and your dip.
But you're gonna have one, right?
I mean, not me, yeah, I'm gonna have one. I'm probably throw some mac and cheese on there.
Okay. All right. So we got the dip, we got the popper, we got the macaroni and cheese. That's the Raymond three sides for the tailgate. Um, Boy, we're about to go on a journey here. My go-to, easy. Don't got to worry about keeping it warm. Throw it in the cooler. Potato salad.
Okay.
Good potato salad. All right, good potato salad. Uh,
You,
Pop it open. It's already made. Throw it down. Get a spoon. Eat
you know
potato
what?
salad. I like salad by itself sometimes when I'm being a fat fuck.
I'm gonna save follow-up questions for another time.
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no,
Hit me
no,
right now with that
no,
follow.
because we could sit here and we could break down potato salad, but I think that deserves its own conversation.
Raymond, what better time than now? Are you going to remember potato salad next time? Break
Um,
down potato salad for me, Raymond.
I personally don't believe in, I mean, maybe it's just the family I grew up in. I don't believe in one-dimensional potato salad. What I mean by that is, I don't believe in purely mayo potato salad or purely mustard potato salad.
Hmm.
I think that's where you get into generic barbecue, or you get into ATB style potato salads,
Yep.
bland as potato salad. I think it's got to
Boring.
be a
Sad.
blend. Yeah.
Um, I'll tell you right now what's going in my potato salad for sure.
All right.
First things first, potatoes.
Naturally.
You got to have mayo. You got to have mustard. Pretty close to even, maybe a little bit more mayo for me.
Okay.
Um, gonna hit me with the pickle. All right, a little pickle juice, finely diced up pickles. It can't be a big ass chunk of pickle. All right, and it's got to be a little bit, not a touch. I don't want to taste. I don't want to go like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of pickle in here. I've just it's got to the barest amount of to just kind of get the profile going.
You going straight dill?
I think you've got to go dill.
Hmm.
I don't think there's any other option. I
I,
can only
I
see a dill.
I think I may counter you on that one.
Okay, go ahead, go for it.
I'm going to sweet. I'm going to sweet pickle because you already got your saltiness, your bitterness from from your mustard. If you Well, yours is a mayo heavier, so you don't have as much bitter in yours. But don't let me
Hmm.
don't let me step on your potatoes. I'll continue.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, no. That's why. I mean, you're getting a little bit more mayo too. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Um, I'm doing some celery. Love me some celery, and then the red bell peppers. You got to get your red bell peppers. That takes it up. Um, Obviously, got to get your garlic powder in there, and then got a good base going. Taste it, and then Lowry's to taste.
Hmm. Okay.
That's basics. That's basics. It's got
I
to be there.
I mean,
Oh, and eggs. Fuck eggs. You got to throw
oh
eggs in there,
yeah.
brother.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, got to get the eggs. Oh shit! Oof! I almost got kicked off my own goddamn podcast.
You almost got the old shepherd's hook.
Yep. Just,
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
no one dimensional potato salads over here.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to my picks.
Yeah. My bad. My fault.
You gotta do potato salad. I really like your popper pick. I really like your popper pick, and I can't take it because you said it because that's just not original enough. I will do some. I call them the pork burn ends, but it's the rim trimmings, the rib tips, and I
Oh.
like to do those in the. I think I've mentioned it before. The cherry habanero glaze, wood smoked.
Yep. Yeah. You did mention that.
That if you give those suckers the time, those slap so hard. You just gotta give them the time. And then number three, what am I gonna eat at the tailgate? What am I gonna smash down at the tailgate besides chips, potato salad, and some pork burnt ends? It's a lot of options. You said mac and cheese.
Yep.
You hitting the mac and cheese. That feels like a lot of work to me. You got to keep that
I'll
warm.
give. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Man, if I'm thinking like stuff that will go with like anything, hot dogs, burgers. If I'm doing like
But I
straight
mean,
up barbecue
yeah.
at the
Yeah.
tailgate, getting crazy. I'm eating a fucking steak, which you shouldn't be because you got a fork and knife with that unless you eat it with your hands like a man. That's like a caveman, but that's a little freaky. It's a lot of mess. Um, ooh, it's not a side, but it would slap. But the old-fashioned Frito pie,
Oh,
you got your Fritos, chili, cheese,
cut
white
the
onion
bag. Just cut the bag.
in the
Keep it
bag.
moving.
The cheese is in the cooler, and the onions are in the cooler with the potato salad. All you gotta do is have some hot chili. That ain't too hard.
No, it's also not a side though.
It's not a side, but I'm gonna stick with it. Rebuttal.
Mm. No, no rebuttal here. It's a solid choice. I think if
Go
you're
ahead, say it.
what,
You're gonna say it, but it's not a side.
but it's not. I mean, it's not a side.
It's crazy. That's crazy. Here's what I'm gonna say: dip isn't a side either. Dip is something that you eat chips with.
I would say you go to most cookouts, you
Hmm.
get your burger, your dog,
Hmm.
you got your chips on that plate or on the side,
Hmm.
and what's over the top of the chips?
Okay, but the fact that we couldn't pick chips and now you're picking an accessory to chips,
All
and
right.
then you're gonna come at
Okay.
me
All
for
right.
Frito pie, which is technically chips. That's it. We're done.
Yeah.
Short and sweet. Raymond, anything to add for the week?
I have been feverishly researching whether or not Quidditch is still a collegiate sport. It
Hmm.
looks like from the looks of it, they have swapped from it being Quidditch to it now being quad ball. But I still have it. I still can't see. Oh wait, hold on. What's this?
You can
Spring.
research right now.
I,
You said
I
feverishly researching. He meant right this instant.
no. I meant like I've been casually googling UTSA Quidditch over the course of the week. I just now went for one more hit and realized that they call it quad ball now. Um, I see we may have missed it. I'm seeing the Alamo Cup was March 21st, and the only thing left now is nationals.
Oh, damn, yeah.
So we missed an entire season here.
It does feel like a cold weather sport because the people that would be playing quad ball, I imagine, are Quidditch nerds and they probably don't want to be out in the South Texas heat.
Yeah, probably. They're not trying to sweat like that. Oh,
I
hold
wasn't
on.
trying to
Looks
sweat
like
like I was today.
it looks like San Antonio has a major league Quidditch team. It might not even be about UTSA anymore. Hold on. All right, so I have more homework to do.
All right, I'm gonna next week. I better have concrete answers next week. I need dates, I need times, I need
Yeah,
ticket prices,
we're
I
we
need it all.
we might be back. We might have to table this until next season, but we're gonna have
As
to
long
put
as I got good research next week, then we'll talk
yeah,
about next season.
yeah, we're gonna have to put like an events calendar down for all of the non all of these side projects we're gonna have.
Yeah, no shit.
It's
All
like
right.
this week we have gunslingers, next week we have Quidditch.
Yep. Gunslingers, Quidditch, uh, basketball if we can find it.
Yeah.
Uh,
What was
all
that?
the classics.
What was that sport they had with the with where you bounce the ball off of the little trampoline? It was like kind of it was like half basketball, but you bounce the ball in the middle of four people, and there was a little trampoline in the middle.
It sounds between four people, it sounds like Foursquare to me, but I don't remember there being no trampoline.
It was very Foursquare-ish. I mean, I guarantee you I saw it on the Ocho or something, but
I mean, we just might become a podcast that talks football for half the year and talks the Ocho the other half.
I mean, I imagine you can tailgate all of the Ocho events.
I'll tailgate anything. All right. I'll tailgate a baby shower, a funeral,
Okay, fair
freaking
enough.
DMV line. I'll do whatever it takes to get into the tailgate. All right. That is it for episode 27. We talked UFL. We talked the wrap up of March Madness. Hopefully, we start getting some more shenanigans here soon. Thank you guys so much for coming. This is Tailgate Sports Media. I'm Devin. This is Ray. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys next week. Thank you.
See you.